Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson. That's Nathan Fox. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an email here from Nicola. The subject is 154 to 174 in 8 weeks.
Definitely doable. I mean, 154 is such a great place to start that I always just think this guy's the limit. I don't, that's not a shocking improvement when you start off that high. 8 weeks is a kind of a short time to make that happen. But again, it's just not surprising, right?
Yeah,
like
2
the
months.
test makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you can read carefully enough to score 154 out of the box, then if you just keep practicing these questions, you'll realize how repetitive they are. There's just not that much to it, really. So that's not that surprising. Anyway, Nicola says, "Hi team, I'm writing to say thank you for all the help you've given me in my LSAT journey. I started studying with the hopes of a 164, but I just scored a 174 on the January LSAT. 2 pieces of advice from this podcast unlocked my ability to perform on the LSAT. I'm sharing them here in case you want to weave them back into an episode for new listeners. 1, if you're in LA, then you're in California. If you're in California, you're not necessarily in LA. This is like why we don't need the contrapositive, right? What Nicola is doing here is basically making worlds, right? There's a world where you're in LA, and in that world, you're definitely in California. But in the world where you're not in LA, I have no idea whether you're in California or not. The rule just doesn't apply.
Yeah.
So yes, you can be in California without being in LA. If you're in LA, though, in that world, okay, well, then you're also in California. No contrapositive required. We really try not to even say the word contrapositive at LSAT Demon when we're teaching. So that's Nicola's first piece of advice. Second piece of advice is every LSAT question is solvable. That's a great piece of advice. Nicola says, as a math and economics undergrad, hearing that there is no subjectivity in LSAT answers corrected my approach to questions. The LA and California example gave me guidance unpacking conditional logic. Thanks for everything, Nicola.
Wow, that's great to hear. I like this comment. There's no subjectivity in LSAT answers. I think so many people get hung up arguing with their perception of the world as opposed to just accepting the premises as true and then trying to figure out whether they justify the conclusions or not.
Yeah. It is much more like computer science or electrical engineering, or, it's just like inputs equals output.
Yeah.
And they're never testing your morals. They're never testing your opinions. They're never testing your knowledge of the law or anything like that. It's not a moral compass thing. It's just, hey, what's it say? What are they asking me about what it says? How does this answer actually answer that question based on the record?
Yep.
And 4 answers that don't. So yeah, every question is solvable. I think that's really, really important. I try to emphasize that now in my classes all the time. I love talking about solving LSAT questions. Not just doing them, not just answering them, but solving them.
Yeah.
Like, did you get down to one answer where you know that that's correct? Because they can be solved.
Yeah.
Anything more for Nicola?
No, thanks for writing in.
Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you would like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.